The Metropolis Zone. This is the 8th level in Sonic 2 and by far the largest. And while the name should invoke the image of a massive city, instead we find Sonic infiltrating a sprawling factory. Everywhere you look there are pistons, conveyor belts, giant gears, steam-powered springs, slimy, bouncy goo, you know, all the sorts of things you'd normally find in a factory setting. We're obviously done pestering Robotnik on neutral ground here. Now Sonic is taking the fight on him to his own turf. But while the Metropolis Zone may be lacking a certain man of steel, if you've been diligent about collecting the Chaos Emeralds, Sonic can become super all on his own. This is one of the last chances you'll have to finish your collection, but once you do, you'll be 50 rings away from Sonic's super transformation. In his super form, Sonic runs faster, jumps higher, and is practically invincible. On the other hand, he's a bit more difficult to control, making precise jumps a problem, but beyond that, Super Sonic can easily power his way through the level. Well, of course, that much power comes at a cost. Sonic burns through a ring for every second he's in his super form, so dilly-dally for too long and you'll find yourself depowered and ringless. Which can be a problem because this zone in particular has some of the most difficult to avoid enemies in the game. This Crabbot, for instance, will hang out on ledges and wait for Sonic to leap into its oversized claw. Likewise, this Robo-Mantis throws homing blades at you when you least expect. The only upside to him is that he can only do it once. And finally, these stupid Starbots hang around in the walls and act as proximity bombs. They're especially frustrating when they explode as you're running up a screw nut. The speed Sonic runs puts him directly in the line of fire. Fortunately, if Tails is with you, he can give you enough speed to safely get through. Worse than the enemies themselves, though, are where the level designers decided to put them. This level is a master class in annoying enemy placement, with the Crab and Mantis bots camping ledges. They are practically unavoidable if you don't know where they are, and even if you do know where they are, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. The rest of the level is no less dangerous. Along with the usual threats of inconveniently placed spikes, this zone is filled with pits of molten metal and a variety of things that can crush you. There are a few secrets to be had if you're lucky enough to stumble across them, but this level is so long and dangerous that you'll probably want to forego the exploration in favor of simply getting to the end in one piece. And not only is each act in this zone extra long, but there are more of them than you'd expect. Metropolis features 3 acts to power your way through, rather than the typical 2. And this isn't one of those fake third acts that's just a short run to the boss fight. Act 3 is just as long as brutal as the previous 2, making you good and tired before your showdown with Robotnik. And what a showdown it is! Surrounded by a series of rotating balls, Robotnik has very few safe openings for attack. You'll need to play defensively because only a perfectly timed leap will get you over his car safely. Stay out of harm's way and you'll eventually get your chance to counterattack. After a couple of passes, Robotnik will move to the center of the screen and try to bait Sonic into attacking. Just stick to the corner and wait for him to become vulnerable as he adjusts his balls. When you do get a hit on him, one of the balls will break free and become a bouncing inflatable Robotnik. Destroy it and start the whole process over again, then repeat until all of the decoys are destroyed. At the end of the battle, Robotnik will make one last-ditch effort to try to fry Sonic with a laser beam, but a single hit will send him running. And that is the Metropolis Zone. One last endurance challenge before the final stretch. It's significantly harder than any of the previous zones in the game, but that only makes it that much more satisfying when you finally reach the end. Now that we're done with the factory, we're taking to the skies, so be sure to like and subscribe, pass this video around to your friends, and come back next week for the Sky Chase.